Are you just a silly little graphic designer in a silly little graphic design world and you're bogged down by things like taxes and you just want to be free and make pretty things? There's talented people on Fiverr that can help you with that. I know that none of us decided to become graphic designers to become business people. Like, what is that? But alas, here we are, down the road that we paved for ourselves with good intentions, with far too little time, far too many deadlines, and far too many mundane tasks like copywriting, dealing with SEO. So I thought hard, who do I know that can do all of that for me for free? Interns! Jokes, just kidding. Shame on you for even thinking that was real for a second. Pay people. And plus, when I posted the ad for the internship and my only job description was, can come to my house with an iced almond milk latte every morning with a half pump of sugar-free vanilla and tell me how good of a graphic designer I am, I got literally 0 hits, so I guess whatever. Most importantly, it's unethical, we should be paying people. But I found the next best thing, Fiverr. Hence, therefore, alas. So I made a list of things that I am completely overwhelmed with, that I definitely need help with, and that list is here. And if this is not a good metaphor for this video, the fact that the whole title doesn't fit on the first line and it had to go down like this, then I don't know what is. First one is marketing. Yeah, specifically social media marketing, which is funny because this was my real job for like 2 years. In theory, I love it. It's a digital playground where you get to just be yourself and make funny, silly things. In practice, drives me crazy. Drives me absolutely nutters. Something about it just makes me, what with the carousel posts and the reels and the science of it, and should I make a reel that's 0.5 of a second and have a really long caption so people read the caption and then the reel just plays over and over again, and so marketing. Would be nice if somebody could help me out with that. Social media marketing. Then we have SEO. The rule of thumb with words is if a phrase is turned into an acronym, then that probably means it's important. Search engine optimization. I feel like this one is important because of the sheer amount of emails I receive from people telling me that my view count sucks. Am I gonna ask those people for help? No, because they told me my view count sucks. And don't tell me when I'm doing bad, okay? No, but seriously, I think this is important. So SEO specifically for my website. Last of all, copywriting. Copywriting, again, another one of those things that in theory I should absolutely love. Because I love to write, I love scripting my videos, I love making those silly little goofy captions, but in practice, I think it's specifically this. Blogs. Writing blogs. Just something about it. Oof. Not for me. Not for me. I like doing things. I'm a maker. I'm a physical maker of things. Need that instant gratification. So if I could have somebody take a look at some of the scripts that I've written or even go through some of my videos and pull out valuable information for my audience and create a blog post from that, that would be amazing. So today I am going to be outsourcing some of the tasks that aren't my favorite and prevent me from doing the stuff that I really enjoy to work on and let you know what the results are. We have our first victims. We have Fiona S. at inthedesign_CO. I will be your social media manager and content creator listing. I think this should be interesting, seeing as I'm a graphic designer, and I'm sure she has some experience with graphic design. I am interested to see what she can do for us. We've got some yoga and restaurant. We have some self-care stuff in her portfolio, nursing. So I actually picked her because I thought a lot of these designs were very clean, and I'm really curious to see what she will do with my style, which is quite out there and colorful and I would say very niche. She's got a lot of good reviews here. So it says, if you're looking for a digital marketing manager or social media manager, yes I am, you've come to the right place. Great. I'm just gonna let her have free reign over everything. I think that's kind of the best way to do it, isn't it? Just to, have at it, have a fun time, do whatever you want, and let's see what you come up with. Basic package, she's gonna do the research, content creation, delivery, post scheduling, and publishing. and she's from Albania. That's kind of cool. And she's a polyglot. She speaks 4 languages. I want to be friends with Fiona. So we're going with the basic plan, which is $210, and it includes a 1-month schedule, 5 engaging posts per week, hashtag research and captions, and 1 social media platform, which is going to be Instagram. What that mouse do, girl? Confirm and pay. Merry Christmas! Which industry do you work in? Graphic design. Sure. I mean, they're all kind of business advertising. Digital. Where's the saving time for me button? Illustrations, brand colors located here. Do I need to provide her with copyright? Is she gonna do copywriting too? I'm so curious. Should I give her some ideas? No, just let her, you know? This is what I had to deal with. She can deal with it. Okay, let me know the graphic style you want followed. Maybe I'll make a Pinterest board too. Let's make a Pinterest board. Oh, we're having a fun time. I feel like if I was in her position and I received a Pinterest board like this, I would be so excited. Like super, super stoked. So I'm just gonna give her this Pinterest board. This is a Pinterest board that I used when I was kind of deciding what my branding was going to be for my personal brand. There's so much here to work with. I'm basically just gonna tell her have fun and make whatever you want to your heart's content. Feel free to use my illustrations, make your own, whatever. So yeah, we're just gonna secret board, share it. Please refer to this Pinterest board for inspiration. In terms of what I want specifically, I'd like to give you full range as a designer. I do think that having some sort of creative restrictions and rules actually helps you to be more creative. So for the purposes of this video, I am going to ask her to create content that she thinks other graphic designers would enjoy. Inspirational quotes or helpful design tips for graphic designers. Okay, I think that's good. I think that's a good place to start. I'm hoping it's a good place to start. I hope that was a clear enough brief because I don't really have a brief. But let's press start order and see what happens. Ah! Scary. So now we are going to move on to our second bro and get some help with SEO, search engine optimization, or SAW. Dude. Okay, so we have Tabassum Ali, and I hope I'm saying that correctly. He's an SEO specialist with 12 years of experience. He has a digital marketing agency and he excels in e-commerce and top-notch local SEO using white hat techniques. I don't even need to read anymore. I don't know what white hat techniques is, but I like it. I like this lingo. I love not understanding what he's saying. That just is further proof to me that this guy, Tabassum, really knows what he's doing. So with Tabassum, I've decided we're going to go for the premium package. We're splurging a little bit here, which includes advanced SEO, Google structured data, robots, robots, XML sitemap, and an action plan. And he can deliver all of this in 5 days, which is pretty impressive. And the reason why I chose him specifically is because he states that he can provide Squarespace website SEO services for a higher Google ranking. So if I go ahead and look up cool, awesome, hilarious, smart graphic designer, branding, packaging, damn, Kyle Collins, oh my god, they're all beating me. I'm not even on the first page. Mind you, there are no such things as pages anymore, they just have infinite scrolling. So technically, I think I would be on the first page. But obviously, this is unacceptable. I need to be here. Before minimal egg packaging would be ideal. If Tabassum Ali could get me to before egg packaging, I would be so happy. All right, I trust this guy. Let's do it. Continue. 10 pages optimized, title optimization, H1, H2, H3 tags, 50 keywords, research page audit. Confirm and pay. Let's do it. Please don't scam me. What is your main target? Brandon, packaging, design. Okay, I feel like I could have been more detailed with a lot of the information that I provided, but I kind of am just curious to see what this person can do with all of the information I've given. My order is now in the works. Tabasum Alley has been notified, and we should receive our delivery by December 26th, 2:22 p.m. That is quite precise. So, last but not least, we have one more thing on my list that I would like to accomplish, and that is blog copywriting. Alia is up next. So, Alia, username at writerpro_4, and this is Fiverr's choice. She has 6 orders in the queue, and look at how professional she looks. Wow. Real sample from my work. I read through this, loved it, seen this content score, don't know what this is, but I love it. And I see the screenshot of the Google Drive, I'm immediately drawn to her. I immediately want her organizedness in my blogs. So, contestant number 3, we have Alia. Alia. So, I decided to just go with 3 original articles, which is going to be amazing. So, the blog post that I'm featuring currently, let's see, we have the entire client and brand design process, good, onboarding and project proposals, how to conduct brand research and brand strategy and creative direction. So, originally, I was going to ask her to kind of watch these videos. Basically, I'm just paying for 1 view per video. No, I'm not going to make her do that. What I will do is kind of send her these blog posts and see if she can pull out any information, because these are quite short little like tidbits from 500 to 1,000 to 2,000 words, and see if she can pull out any tidbits that she might be able to expand on. So for example, with number 4, brand strategy and creative direction, this is kind of just an introduction to the whole process, but it doesn't really go into depth about any of these things. Like brand story, brand purpose, brand words, values. These could in and of themselves be a blog post each. So I'm thinking of just sending her these 4 blog posts and seeing what 3 concepts that she can create that are chock full of SEO keywords or whatever that might lead people to come to my website when they're searching for these specific things. I think that's a better plan of action. Topics of your choice pulled from any of the blog posts already posted that you find interesting and worthy of expanding upon. I'm trusting your expertise. A little bit of flattery goes a long way. Please let me know if you have any questions. Thank you. Great. So this is going to be my early Christmas present. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to sleep tonight because I'll be too excited about what these people are going to make and what we're going to create together. But I will patiently await their responses and let you know what happens. So I'll talk to you soon. And I am pleased to report we are officially back. All of my orders have been completed quite promptly, I might add. So we're going to take a look through them and do a review. Up first, we have SEO Marketing. So Tabasum Ali states, these are the files that he's attached. I did watch a few videos about SEO, so now I am a little bit more knowledgeable. So let's take a look at all of this together. First up, we have the image alt text optimization report. So Abasam has included screenshots of all of the work that he's completed. So it looks like he's edited the metadata on images, adding things like graphic design, freelance graphic design pricing, freelance designer. I do think that this could have been maybe perhaps a little bit more creative. So let's see how thorough he was. But again, I'm not an SEO expert. I'm just a mere human being with a desire and a will to do good for myself and for others. We are looking, there's no alt text image here, lacking image alt text here. All right, here we go. So here we have my fiery friend's packaging design bottles, and he just put graphic designers here. And according to Squarespace's recommendations for alt text, be descriptive and helpful. How would you describe this image to someone who couldn't see it? Probably not graphic designers. Keyword stuffing. Oh, here we go. We're going down the rabbit hole now. We're just learning. This is not the goal here. I don't want to learn. I don't want to think. Let's go back here. I think a better keyword perhaps would be hot sauce, packaging, design, pricing, services. So then let's take a look here. Graphic design. A better keyword perhaps would have been brand strategy and creative direction template. Here we have an image of project proposals. So let's see the metadata for that. Freelance design pricing.
So I'm kind of thinking he just looked at everything at random. Here we have brand identity and brand purpose. So perhaps a good keyword for that would be brand identity and brand purpose. Freelance graphic design pricing. So this isn't actually at all relevant to any of the services that I'm hoping to offer. So I don't think that he made a very strong attempt to take a look at and understand my website, the images, what's on the images, edit the metadata according to the actual content. Now we're moving on to what he calls the linking report. So the purpose of this linking report is to go through my website and all the text that I've written and find areas that might link to other pages to keep the people continuing to click on my site and discover things. So he has done clients, project, and he has done designs. So let's just see. This one I kind of struggle to see where I could have made better improvements than Tabasam, except for the fact that he linked clients with a completely random page. So you click clients and it goes to my services page, which he could at least have linked it to my work. Let's just quickly change that. I really, really wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt here. And then we have project. So let's see if this is linked correctly or linked to some random page. The problem is it blends in with my background. Could have just changed the color. Something as simple as that and made it bold. But even then, if he would have taken the time to read the sentence. This specific sentence is about how I'm asking them to make a Pinterest board for their project. Like it says, so make sure you make a Pinterest board with your inspiration for your project. And then it links to my projects. So it doesn't really make sense to link it to my project portfolio because it just doesn't make sense. So we're gonna just Control Z his work there. Last but not least, I'm going to go back and actually check that this one makes sense. Again, I create designs that not only look great, but serve a purpose. So here I would link to my work, but he has chosen to link it to my shop, my templates. Let's remove that. This one was incorrect, this one was incorrect, and this one was incorrect. Next, we have a sitemap submission. Your sitemap has been successfully added to our list of sitemaps to crawl. So it helps search engines discover URLs on your site. Great. Thank you for doing that. Let's move on to the next one. Let's view the keywords that he generated for me. So I came up with keywords, a list of, I think, 40 keywords that I can use. These are competitor keywords for new blogs that I should use to increase my visibility. And they mostly compose of the arrangement of branding and packaging design services, that phrase, in different ways. Not that I was looking for anything super out there or outrageous or creative, but I think that's a good minimal effort. Next, we're going to move on to his instructions for how to write an article for website important guidelines according to the recent Google update. Okay, so this is just a PDF of exactly how I should format blog posts. Google Lighthouse SEO score. Okay, so a Lighthouse score is the score that you receive when your website is crawled by a search engine based on the performance, accessibility, best practices, SEO, and PWA, which is progressive web apps. Right, let's go to my website. Let's use Google's own Lighthouse tool. 85% accessibility. Background and foreground colors do not have a sufficient contrast ratio. So this is a really great free feature that you can use if you have Google Chrome, and it's listed under the development tool. So if you go to your settings tab and you click more tools, developer tools, and then go into the Lighthouse tool, you can go to any page on the internet, including your own, and see exactly where you score on the Lighthouse score. So for my performance, which is related to how quick it takes my website to load, I'm at a 57%, which is not very good. It's something that could potentially deter people from continuing on my page. Speed is very important. People are very impatient. And accessibility, this is in terms of things like if you have beige text on a light green background. It's probably not that visible, and maybe to some people who have vision impairment or are colorblind, this is something that could potentially discourage somebody from continuing on your website. It literally points out all of the things that you should improve on your website, which is quite genius. So if you want to take the time to do something yourself, then it's free, and yeah, that's all I can say is it's extremely helpful. So it talks about navigation. I feel like this is stuff that I need help with. Like some elements have a tab index value greater than 0. I don't know what this means. So what I hope and want with a service that I'm paying for somebody to help me improve all of these things, which if he's listing it in his report of things that he's accomplished, then he should have theoretically helped me out with. So it gives you suggestions and opportunities of how to improve keyboard navigation in your application. So this is helpful for somebody who is using an assisted technology primary button. That's quite interesting because as somebody who is lucky enough to consider myself able-bodied, oftentimes something that I overlook is thinking about how somebody with a visual impairment or some sort of disability could have potential problems navigating my website. I guess it's just something to think about and try to be more intentional about when you're choosing your colors and creating your website or anything that you design, really. Again, it's really hard to comment on since I don't have the education. I think the only thing that I'm missing is a little bit of information, some explanations. Would be nice, even if it's, he has a PDF that he includes where he includes a little write-up of what it is. Would be nice if he's looking for ways to improve his business and make people feel more confident about their purchasing decision. Next, we have titles and meta descriptions optimization report. And this is where he went into my titles and added SEO titles. Designs bold brands and packaging for small business owners. This was before, this was after. So essentially he added my brand name, my target area in South Korea, and branding and packaging design services, and removed bold brands and packaging for small business owners. So the next one, he changed bold packaging and brand design, my portfolio, to portfolio packaging and brand design, Gloria Condi. Admittedly, I think I like the way this looks a lot better. Packaging and branding design services for the small businesses in South Korea. This is kind of my fault because although I'm located in South Korea, most of my clients are located overseas in America and Canada. So I think I might have to change this because although I'm based in Seoul, South Korea, I'm not even sure that it's worth mentioning on this website because my physical location actually has nothing to do with my target audience, something that I don't expect him to know because I never informed him. Okay, and here he's just going through my templates and he's changed the title from Templates for Solopreneurs and Freelance Graphic Designers to Freelance Graphic Designers and South Korea. This has nothing to do with templates and everything to do with selling the service of multiple freelance graphic designers. Blog, how to become a freelance graphic. Okay, that's what I wrote. Amazing, great. SEO stuff, pat on the back for me. Doing great. 2, designer. He added designer. Good job. Let's get in touch to contact graphic designer South Korea, Gloria Condi. Yeah, I actually like that he did all of this for me, so that's great. I think this is the one that I feel he did the most work on that I've seen so far. I'm going to give that one a thumbs up for the titles and meta descriptions optimization report. That's essentially the bulk of it. So takeaways, thoughts. I feel like I learned a lot, learned some things that I wasn't aware of before. In terms of what it's actually done for my website, the effects of these types of changes on your website aren't immediately visible. This is something that I'd have to look into 2 months down the road, maybe even further. I can't say for sure whether or not what Tabasum has done has really been effective, but has it been a lot of fun? And did I learn something new? Yeah, I definitely understand a lot of people's hesitations on purchasing services from Fiverr. An interesting experience for sure, but in order to feel like I have really tackled SEO, I do feel like I would have to hire somebody else and pay a little bit more to really feel confident about the quality of the work that has been delivered to me. And with that being said, let's move on to the next Fiverr talent. So the next contestant we have is Alia, and if you remember, I asked Alia to write me 3 blog posts pertaining to a couple of links that I sent to her. So we have the first one here, 6 creative ways brand typography can help your brand image. Again, this is something that can be quite risky, especially with the advancement of ChatGPT, and I am in no means against people using ChatGPT to help them. I do it all the time, but there is something a little about hiring a copywriter that is just using ChatGPT to create blog posts. But let's see. AI generated text checker, 0 GPT. Okay, your text is human written, 6.81% AI GPT, which is fine. And actually the limit of the text was 500 words for each, but 583, so she went a little bit above and beyond. Let's read it. Highlights brand personality, establishes recognition, communicates professionalism. Typology. It's a real word. I don't know if this is the right word. Typology, typography. Okay. Topology. Very interesting. Brand can create a font. I mean, pretty impressive if a brand wants to create a font, but they usually just pick one. I think this is great because she exactly reached my target audience, which is people who are wanting to become freelance graphic designers or interested in graphic design and don't really know where to start and might be in the beginning of their graphic design education and looking up these terms, as well as small business owners who don't understand the impact that typography might have on their branding. So in an effort to understand how important it is, would kind of look up these things. You know, she had a couple of small errors like typology and topology, and brand can create a font, as well as a small error in the title. And maybe like some sort of conclusion would have been nice as well. But other than that, I think this was a great introduction to typography and the influence on branding. I just took a sentence and punched it into Google to see if that sentence existed already, and it doesn't. So I'm gonna give that a thumbs up. And let's move on to the next one, which is packaging design. Packaging design must have. Let's bold that. And this is a very clunky sentence. The image of the brand is reflected in it. Okay, I see that she chose to use the American spelling of the word color, but Canadians, we use the Queen's English. So again, I do think she had the target audience of somebody who is just starting out as a freelancer or a small business owner and is curious, because a lot of this information as a graphic designer to read is really boring. I think I would expect just like a little bit more if I was an actual designer. Again, this is a copywriter, not a packaging designer. And the intention is for it to be chock full of keywords that will lead people to your website. Because of that, I'm not expecting something that's super in-depth. And it's saying to differentiate your packaging, you should include a logo. Good advice. Colors. Right? I think all of this is kind of basic knowledge. For this purpose specifically, I could see this being really helpful if it included a lot of imagery and links to case studies and other packaging designs that have done all of these simple things really effectively. So that's something that would be done on my end if I were to post this on my website. But I think she did a really excellent job. It's super easy to digest. Her titles are great. I think it's great. And then we have, what is a mood board? Why having a mood board is significant for your brand image. Again, she really took the time to understand my target audience, which is great. Great visual communication. Consistency in the mood board provides a roadmap to establish a strong and memorable presence in the mind of the audience. Unmistakable clarity and precision. Distinctive palette. Yeah, this was really good. I think this was great. I think that she touched shortly about the things that I predicted she would touch on. Why you should have a mood board, because it helps create marketing materials and aligns them with a brand. I think I would have been a little bit more clear about exactly when you should use a mood board and what stage of the design process you should use a mood board. And you don't need to use a mood board for, just creating a brand identity. You can use it for other stuff as well. Any type of design work, really. And I think that's something that could have been featured perhaps in the introduction or the next paragraph as well. I think it's lacking maybe an outro of some sort, something to tie it all together. But other than that, I think she did a really good job. Yeah, I only really have positive things to say from what I've seen that exists on the internet already in terms of these kind of SEO keyword heavy blog posts, which is exactly what I asked for. Nothing too in depth, just a little bit of expanding on the topics mentioned in my blog posts. This was perfect. So I'm gonna, 5 stars. Really excellent. Minus 0.2% for some of the spelling, like she didn't use the Queen's English, but it's okay. I think I would probably want to continue to work with her in the future. It really seemed like she understood right away what I wanted, who my target audience was, and delivered. So thank you so much. The last one we have, which I'm the most excited to take a look at, social media manager Fiona. Let's keep in mind that I am probably going to be the harshest on her because she is creating designs for me and I'm a graphic designer. And I also have experience with doing exactly what she did. This was the Pinterest board that I gave her for inspiration in terms of design style. Bold, contrasting color palettes, kind of a vintage design style, vintage retro, modern design style, as well as a lot of collage work and like fun, bold illustrations. So a lot of stuff really to work with. It's kind of all over the place. But that's indicative of me and my personality and my brain. So this was the PDF that I sent her with my brand guidelines, my colors, gradients, illustrations, brand patterns, some of the photography style that I liked, as well as social media application. This is what she sent me. I don't think I would quote Bob Ross, but again, I didn't ask Fiona to step into my brain and understand the psychology of me so she could recreate my materials. That would be a several decade long process and she probably would not get very far. It's giving the vibe of bees, which I love the bees, save the bees, they're keystone species, but perhaps not for this purpose. So I asked her to give me tips for graphic designers. I am 100% sure that she took all of these captions from ChatGPT. And I think perhaps the ideas were generated with ChatGPT as well. So let me just, 29.65%, which means that there's a high possibility that these were generated with ChatGPT. Especially this. This is like key giveaway. If it says anything along the lines of embark on a journey, or mentions adventure, then it's probably generated with ChatGPT. Embark on this adventure and unfold. ChatGPT loves to use the word unfold. See if you can go through my blogs and my website and my social media copy to catch any of these and see if what you can tell is generated with ChatGPT or not, because some of it is. Maybe this whole video was generated with ChatGPT. Ooh, AI is everywhere. No, but really, I'm not mad about it. It's okay. That's okay. It's hard work. It's hard work. It's hard work to think of ideas and copy. I totally get it, but maybe some, just a little bit of mixing around of words would be good. In terms of the actual design, this is not my favorite arrow. Yeah, that's all I have to say about that. We love Bob Ross. Don't get me wrong. I'm a Bob Ross stan for sure. Love what he does. I understand what she's trying to go for. I don't make mistakes. And this does feel like a mistake, but I don't think this quote is really an excuse to make a bad design and say, oh, it's going with the theme. It's a mistake. I think this was very much intentional. So this is a illustration that I made for my templates. I just gave her a bunch of illustrations to work with and see what she would do. And I did include like EPS files. And that's something that I noticed was it seems like they're stretched, especially with this one. Like this is very clear, but this looks like it's been stretched and exported at the wrong size. Simplicity and conciseness. Keep it simple, clear, and concise. Love that. I don't love the alignment going on here. The spacing in between the edges is driving me a little crazy. I think if she wanted to improve this, she could make this bigger, this text, and make this smaller and perhaps not bold because there's not enough contrast going on here. I think there's a way to do all caps serif fonts, and this perhaps isn't what I would like to achieve with my design style. And this is bugging me too, how this isn't aligned. It's not enough misaligned for it to be a thing. If anything, we should follow this kind of spacing and distance that's going on here. I like this one. I think out of all of them so far, this is the one that resonates with me the most. I don't like this random line. It has no purpose at all. And maybe perhaps the thigh gap is bugging me. It's like reminding me of like a chicken or something. But this is my favorite one so far. And the alignment here and how this is almost touching. Oh. I appreciate the bold and creative effort. I'm liking what she did here. There are some really nice elements going on here. I'm not a big fan of this. Basically, just how she lays out her words. Like, the design world is constantly evolving. This is called an orphan. You shouldn't leave one word on the last line of a paragraph. But I do like all of the elements of the background. If it's not perfectly aligned, it didn't happen. I see what's happening here. I asked her for humor. She listened. Not exactly the type of illustrations that I used, and I think she just pulled this from PNG Giving website design consistency. And this is touching the edge of the artwork and not loving the alignment of words. I think at least I would just, put it on one line and make it smaller. There's a lot of things going on here. It looks like a plummeting stocks. This, however, was straight up just pulled from a website, which is totally fine. But I'm just trying to showcase the quality of the work that you can expect if you're somebody who's on a budget and looking for somebody to kind of just manage your business. My blood type is Control-C, Control-V. I like it. The idea, I like that. It's cute. The power duo, social media and websites for digital designers. Okay, so the stock went down and the stock's going back up now. We love that. I would have maybe tightened up the lettering here, made the font bigger or smaller. It's okay, you don't have to use bold font all the time to make text stand out. There are other ways of accomplishing that. This is cute. Okay, I could see this printed on like a t-shirt or something. I like this one. I think I would probably not make this bold though. Because this is quite bold, this is quite bold. I think it's okay to give your eyes a little break. You don't have to use bold all the time. But this is not Helvetica, this is Chivo. I mean, if you're gonna make a post about Helvetica, then all the font should be Helvetica. But it's cute, I like the little guy. Again, the quality here, I don't know if it's just because she put all of these onto a PDF. This is a carousel post, perfect. I asked for a carousel post. 3 ways to be a better graphic designer. I think if I were to make this a title, I would have all the proper words. Capital, and again, I don't really like to have orphans or just have one random word hanging on the bottom here. If you're gonna do that, you should do something like this. Specialize your work, again, orphan, it should be capital. I think the thing with titles, with capitalization, you should either make each word capital or each word lowercase and have it be very intentional so it doesn't look like a mistake. Or a period, okay? It's very simple layout, so I don't have a lot to say about it. Again, except for if you're gonna do text like this, you can make this bigger and you can make this smaller and it doesn't have to be bold. I think this is the last one. Embark on this adventure. And ChatGPT loves to put emojis too at the end of captions too. This is a tell. This is a tell. Okay, that was a lot to go over. Overall thoughts, impressions. For the price, for the delivery time, it's quite hard to make this many posts in 5 days and have them all be so diverse and have to think of a separate idea for each post. It takes a long time to conceptualize, write the copy, organize all of this stuff and make sure it's good enough to post. And the fact that she was originally supposed to schedule these for me. That's quite impressive. And I think, like I said, if you're somebody who is just starting a business and doesn't have the budget to have a social media marketer hire them full time, then I think this is great. I think, this is exactly what I asked for in some sense, but only exactly what I asked for. There are some things here that have the potential to be really great, but I think that this person probably either has more experience doing social media marketing rather than graphic design, or they're just starting out in their graphic design career and they will improve over time, which is great. And it's exactly the sort of thing that's going to give you the confidence and the experience and the practice that you need to really grow into your own style and improve your skills as a graphic designer. I am curious to see what program she made it on. I do think the presentation and delivery of the files could have been a little better. I want to, I don't expect to be wowed, but I kind of do expect to be wowed. And something as simple as, having her own branding on here is really impressive to a customer. Negatives, I think perhaps just revisiting some of the fundamentals of layout. There are a couple of things in terms of, you know, having the design touching the edges, which might be intentional, but if you're gonna have it be intentional, then it needs to be more intentional. Having a bigger difference in typography sizes. And, you know, if a title is really, really big, you can make the font a little smaller. Actually, if you get your typography on point, other things will follow so much easier. It'll make everything look so much better. I knew this would be a difficult one, and it would be hard not to be critical. But this is just an example of the kind of work that you can expect to receive if you're paying within this budget range. And I think it's good for the amount of money that you pay. And great for freelancers who are looking to improve their portfolio and get some more practice with their design skills. The only thing with something like this is a lot of the time the people that you're working with aren't going to help you improve your skills. And criticism and feedback from an actual design team that can help you grow, and people who can be your mentors and help you actually improve as a designer rather than kind of making the same things over and over again. This whole experience was quite positive for me. Out of all the 3 services, the one that I think I would repurchase again is probably the blog copywriter. I have a feeling that she could do really well at some other things as well. So main takeaways with Fiverr, I think the more specific you are with the instructions and the more details that you provide in your brief, the easier it becomes for whoever you're hiring to really understand who you are, what you want, and how to accomplish that. For small things, it's great. For copywriting, I think it's good. Maybe social media management, having somebody organize and schedule posts for you if you have the copy, if you have the images. Great little things that are on your to-do list that you keep pushing back, but you know you should do because they're important to your business, but you don't have the time. These kinds of things, these small, manageable tasks, I think are great to look at and outsource on Fiverr. Overall, really positive experience. I don't know. What did you think? Have you ever used Fiverr? Would you consider using Fiverr? What do you think is better? Purchasing services on Fiverr or working as a freelancer on Fiverr, which I've never tried, but I'd love to hear your opinions below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have the most excellent of days, and until next time, ciao. Bye-bye.